My entire career has been leading up to this moment where I get to interview Dardoch after a Team Liquid win. I've heard that he gives quite possibly the best interviews in the LCS, both including NA and EU LCS, so I am so excited for this. Dardoch, how are you feeling? We'll just go with a classic cliche question.
I'm feeling fantastic.
That's great. Why are you feeling so fantastic?
My good friend Giovanni Fabi Hernandez came to support me today
Okay.
at the LCS.
He's over there. He's actually walking away now that you've called him out, just walking off into the distance. Whenever you are on stage and Fabi is in the audience or backstage, do you feel like you play better?
I don't necessarily feel better, but he brightens my mood just seeing his beautiful little face.
Yeah. Well, I can hear that from the tone of your voice. Now, what happened? Oh boy, what happened in that game? You want to break it down for me?
We gave Impact the Huni Rainover treatment.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I hear it was pretty rough for him.
Yeah, we gave him the fat camp.
Okay. The fat camp. Now, how do you feel TL is shaking out right now? This is, I believe, your second win, maybe?
Yeah, we're 2-3 currently.
And I've been reading online a lot that you guys are headed towards relegation, that it's all over. How do you feel about those statements?
I mean, hopefully, I guess.
Hopefully you're headed to relegation?
I had never been there before, so it's a new experience for me.
Yeah. That would be kind of exciting, right? Just to get a feel for what it's like to relegate an organization that's been in the LCS since the start of it. I can understand that. How do you feel you shape up against the other players in the NALCS?
Fine. I don't necessarily think anybody's better than me, and I don't think I'm necessarily better than everyone.
All right. Who do you feel like you're better than?
Moon.
Moon? Okay. Is that anybody else? Is that it?
I think I'm better than everyone besides Rainover and Rush and Sven.
Rainover, Rush, and Sven. All right. So you're number 4.
I'm even with some of them.
All right. Who are you even with?
I'd say I match up well with Sven Skaren and Rush.
Okay. Interesting. I feel like a lot of people don't know too much about you. And we kind of discussed this a little bit in the first interview I did with you ahead of the LCS, but do you want to sort of give people a synopsis of who you are, what you're about, what really defines Dardoch?
I'm just a dumb 17-year-old kid who played too much solo queue and got lucky.
Well, that's kind of like the NALCS story, though, don't you think?
Yep.
Man of many words. Man of many, many words. What, now that you've played several games in the LCS, what do you think of the whole experience?
I mean, the first few times I was super excited to play just because I had a lot to prove. But now that I've kind of proved that I can stand up to the rest of the people in LCS, I'm not necessarily excited or anything. I just kind of go and play.
A million Reddit comments scream out every time I mention his name in another interview, but hopefully they'll forgive me for this. I've heard you been compared to Double Lift in some ways, and how sort of sure of yourself you are, kind of I'm the best, I'm the greatest. You don't say that stuff in interviews, but this is the rumor that I've heard behind the scenes, is that you're like, I'm here to really prove who I am and show up. Do you feel like that's a fair assessment?
I think me and Double Lift have a lot of personality similarities, I guess, and the way that we think about our play and ourselves, I guess. But I don't necessarily think me and him are exactly the same, but I definitely do say things off camera that I wouldn't say on camera.
Right. What is an example of one of those things?
It includes profanity, so I'll pass on that one.
All right. That's respectable. I mean, you can fucking cuss in my interviews. It's fine. It's not like a riot feature. But I understand. But you feel pretty good about this. I've also heard that, you can be kind of dry and calm and chill in interviews, but behind the scenes you're actually, again, saying kind of crazy stuff. Is that true?
I tend to get a little hyped in scrims and a little too trolly, but in interviews and on stage I try my best to say calm so I can just control my team and lead them, I guess.
You don't really need to control your team or lead them in interviews, though, so you can kind of break out, right?
No.
You've got to extend to the interviews as well?
I got to support my brand well.
Okay. So no one will truly know what it's like to be on a team with Dardoch in these interviews.
Yeah.
It's always just a fake facade that you've put on for the cameras and the media.
Absolutely.
All right. There we go. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there, Dardoch, any of the people that are watching you and they're like, I don't know how good this guy is, anybody who doubts you, anybody who supports you?
Yeah, just thanks for supporting me and the rest of my team and Team Liquid as a whole. Hopefully you keep supporting us.
Hopefully, indeed. Thank you so much, Dardoch, for the interview. As always, it's a pleasure. The amount of enthusiasm you bring whenever I put the microphone in front of you is just unbearable. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things League of Legends at gamespot.com/LOL.